From Arrow Video comes a new 4K edition of the 1973 sci-fi thriller classic Westworld from creator Michael Crichton. Now, a lot of people now know Westworld as a long-running HBO show, which I have not watched, so I can't comment on that at all. But this is the movie that I grew up with, and this is the movie that spawned a sequel, Future World, by AIP. This is MGM. This is high-profile, prestigious MGM. AIP did Future World, but we're talking about Westworld here. This is a 4K UHD disc. It runs 89 minutes, directed and written by Michael Crichton, with Yul Brynner, Richard Benjamin, James Brolin, and most importantly, Dick Van Patten. This is presented in multiple audio formats. We have English 4.0, English 2.0, English 1.0, mono to you and me, English 5.1, and it features optional English SDH subtitles. It looks and sounds phenomenal. This is a film I first saw on TV. It was one of those films that I would have seen this probably in the early to mid 80s for the first time, but it had just lingered in the popular consciousness. It did spawn a short-lived TV show, the pilot of which is included here. But it was just such a cool idea. I'm not going to tell you the whole story. The idea is that it's the present day as far as the film being released is concerned, but there is this super high-tech, gigantic theme park for grown-ups. It's called Delos, and there are three. It is a medieval world where you can go and be amongst the knights and the kings and all that sort of thing in the castles. Roman world where you can go and be in ancient decadent Rome with gladiators and servant girls and servant slave men and dress in sandals and bed sheets. And Westworld, which is the Old West, where you can be a gunslinger and take on Yul Brynner, who plays the gunslinger in the film. And it is all populated by very, very realistic robots. Robots that will attend to your every desire. Wink. And you can do whatever you want to them, and they're just robots. And that's something that I presume probably gets into more psychological depth on the show, because this is a place that allows people to kill people if they want to. This allows people to have their way with people if they want to be as decadent as you want to be or as heroic as you want to be. You are the hero of your own story at Delos. So the film opens with two businessmen, friends, James Brolin, who's been a bunch of times to Westworld, and the, I guess, recently single or just kind of uncomfortable in his own skin, Richard Benjamin. They choose Westworld, and it's basically James Brolin saying, "Ain't this great? Here's how it all works. Follow me. Do this. No, it's okay. You can do this." And Richard Benjamin shyly, having a roll in the hay with a saloon girl or shooting a bad guy or whatever. And eventually, everything is great. Westworld is a place where nothing can possibly go wrong. Things go wrong. Something happens and suddenly the robots are not performing the way they're supposed to. And one specific robot in the form of Yul Brynner as the evil black-clad gunslinger decides, I'm going to start using real bullets and killing people. And now our heroes have to try to survive in a world where they're in the middle of the desert, they're in the middle of nowhere, tech support isn't there to help them, and there is an unstoppable, pre-Terminator idea really, robot coming to kill you. It's a really good flick. It's a really interesting flick. It occasionally, as often was the case with Michael Crichton, predicts future technologies, predicts future trends and things like that. Delos, the vacation of the future today. And it's really amazing. The way that they talk about it in the film too is that the fee at Delos is $1,000 a day, and I did the math, it would be $7,300 a day now. So it's certainly a luxury place for the ultra wealthy to go and live out their fantasies. It starts off really light in tone and then gets real dark when things turn. There's no laughing for the rest of the movie once that switch gets flipped or whatever. It's a really good movie. So I hope people can watch this and accept the technology and the clothes and the hair and the mustaches of the day, because it's a really, really good flick. And it makes me want to watch that HBO series and see what they did with the concept, because it's a very fertile concept that this film only had, 89 minutes. And again, 89 minutes. This movie wastes no time. There's not a scrap of fat on this film. It just goes. A film of this nature today would not be 89 minutes. So extras. They are commentary by Daniel Kramer, which is very interesting. Cowboy Dreams, new conversation between actor Richard Benjamin and producer-screenwriter Larry Karaszewski, who wrote Ed Wood and Dolomite Is My Name and many other things. People versus Larry Flint. That is a 12-minute brand new interview with the co-star of the movie, which is very cool. You get At Home on the Range, a new interview with James Brolin. I can't believe they got the two leads for this. 17-minute interview with Brolin, which is very cool. Hollywood producing Westworld. It's a new video interview with producer Paul N. Lazarus III. That's 34 minutes about making of this film. Sex, Death, and Androids, a new appreciation of the film with author and film scholar Alexandra Heller-Nicholas, who's always great. That's 13 minutes. On Location with Westworld. This is a vintage archival behind the scenes. They used to show these on TV when like a film would run, or a film would run short or a sporting event would run short and they needed to pad it out. There were promotional behind the scenes things. That is look at the making of the film from 73. That's 9 minutes. Beyond Westworld. This was fascinating. This is the pilot episode from the 1980 sequel series to Westworld. It's 49 minutes. Features a cameo by a pre-Elvira Cassandra Peterson as a saloon girl. It utilizes a bunch of footage from the movie, but mostly it sets up the idea that I don't think it really takes Future World into account. It really just looks like it's post-Westworld. All that bad stuff goes down at Westworld. One of the guys who helped create the robots made off with like 200 robots, and he's using them to wreak havoc around the world. And this male-female pair, which in the pilot was one actress, but it looked like Connie Selica was the co-star on the series that did make it to air. They basically are globetrotters who are trying to stop these bad robots from doing things. It's the kind of show I would have watched as a kid, and eventually I would have realized, well, this is just like every other show where just some bad guy is doing something and we have to stop him. And the robot aspect is very slight because they can look like anybody. So they don't have to look like high-tech robots. They don't have to look like, androids or anything. They look like you normal people. And at some point in the show, maybe they get shot or dunked in water and they start smoking out their ears, so they remove the face and it goes dee-dee-dee or something like that. There's a 3-minute trailer and an image gallery of 183 images from the making and on-set stills from the film. I don't have a release version of this, so I can't show you the packaging or whatever else. They always include a book and some other stuff. This is an excellent release from Arrow of an excellent film that was really great to see again after so many years. Westworld 1973 in 4K UHD.